First
the video
and
game
foremost.
explosion.
That's right.
Indeed, yeah. Up until 1980, arcade machines were they were sort of like part of the whole family fun center, kind of boardwalk type of thing. And with the release of Pac-Man and Centipede and
Lots of games. Battlezone.
you should know this, yeah.
Yeah, Defender.
Yeah.
Berserk. This is the year where blockbusters happened in spades. Instead of just like Pong happened, and then a little bit after that, like Space Invaders happened in '78, and then Asteroids in '79. But then all of a sudden there was a huge amount of games. And where are you going to put them? You can put them in the gas station, a few of them. You can put a few of them in the grocery store. But you have to have a place to house a lot of them. And that's when neighborhoods, like outside of high school, where you got out, they would put an arcade there. It'd be filled with games.
That's kind of how pathetic, though, that is. Your arcade game at the gas station. Come on, guys, let's go hang out at the gas station for a video game.
I grew up in Germany. It was a little different. I remember as a kid going into the local pubs. They're all the kind of, not beer halls like Bavaria, but like pubs. And you can bring your kids in there. It's totally fine. And they would always have machines, Dig Dug later there as well. Asteroids were, and Space Invaders were everywhere. And like I remember as a kid, there were units that were hanging from the wall and I wasn't tall enough to see. And somebody would like bring a bar stool and be standing on it. But with Pac-Man, it was just so significant because it was really the birth of the character-driven video game. You had the invaders and they all had personalities, but with Pac-Man suddenly became about a recognizable character.
And it wasn't based on anything. It was a video game for the sake of being a video game. Yep. It wasn't based on ping pong. It wasn't based on shooting aliens. It was based on some nebulous, like bizarre concept of a very hungry circle in a maze being chased by ghosts.
4 unique ghost characters too. I mean, they were just different colors, but they actually had different AI patterns, which was really evolved for the times as well, right?
I have them all right here, Per, in my trusty Scoring Big at Pac-Man.
Wow.
The crucial document of the era. It has all the mazes up until the 9th key, which is really what you need.
Wow.
Have you ever gotten a perfect score?
No. So in Pac-Man, it was really interesting. Unlike subsequent Pac-Man games like Mrs. Pac-Man, you could memorize a pattern in Pac-Man and just play the level and learn it. And it changed based on each fruit in each level. So like basically you could make a book like this and release it and then you could just learn how to play Pac-Man. It's still really hard to memorize the patterns for so many mazes, but you can do it.
Weird to think that book is kind of a precursor to like an IGN wiki. Like,
yeah,
that's a strategy
this is
guide
the original
right there.
Strategy guide.
Yeah.
Before it was even like the concept of strategy was something that was innate to games, so it was more like this is how you're gonna get good at poker. Like this is much more.
So one huge thing about Pac-Man is that its creator Toru Iwatani, who's now a professor, was charged by his employer Namco to create a game that was appealing to both girls and boys.
Yep.
Because Space Invaders was a colossal hit in Japan, and I guess they noticed that boys were playing Space Invaders more than girls for whatever reason. And I think that's a silly idea, but at the time, it got even sillier because his idea of reaching out to women was to make a game about snacking. And he thought, what do girls like doing? They like snacking. So Pac-Man means paku paku. It's like onomatopoeia for munching. Huh. And the character is based on just eating cookies. He calls them cookies. We all watched him give a speech about how he made Pac-Man at GDC a few years ago. And he brought out this folder of like all his original drawings and stuff. And he just talked really openly about how, he was making a game for girls. Now, not only did Pac-Man come out and be a complete hit for everybody, girls liked it, boys liked it, it's a great game. It's not made for girls, it's a great game, so everybody loves it. Good.
And that was, but it wasn't just Pac-Man, right? Like Centipede came out that same year.
And was also not designed to appeal to women necessarily, but designed significantly by Donna C. Bailey and Ed Logg. Donna Bailey was one of the first women game designers ever, and she specifically recounts choosing the color palette of Centipede, which is so 1980. It's like purple and pink and green. It's these weird pastels juxtaposed with each other, and she thinks that has something to do with its appeal. But girls really liked that game too, anecdotally, and of course, arcades became a place where it wasn't just scary teenagers that were in anymore.
Which to me, I don't know. I mean, you guys obviously played Centipede afterwards, right? Once you were born. Like,
graphics were terrible for me.
But the color scheme is absolutely crazy. It's so psychedelic, and on the original monitor, the CRTs, it looks so vibrant. But like, I always figured that was a really hardcore game already. It was hard.
It's really just fast, and you're using a trackball, which is faster than a joystick. We didn't even know at the time like what games would be controlled as for years to come. But Pac-Man actually had a 4-way joystick. No games had joysticks at the time.
Yeah.
It pioneered that. It made that a standard idea. Just moving up, left, right, and down was not.